This is the relaunch of a video I've made a couple months ago. The reason why I'm relaunching it is because I received a claim through copyright for the music that I was listening when I did the job. So after you've removed the vacuum, before starting to pull on the connector, you need to remove the little green tab behind it because you will break the connector. It is simply a safety measure that avoids the connector to disconnect by itself. It is pretty hard to access it, but with a small flat screwdriver you can remove it without breaking anything. It is located between the fuel line and the connector. When it's done, you can put the connector behind the fuel line so it won't be in your way when you will work on removing the throttle body. After that, you need to disconnect the vacuum line on the side of the throttle body. Now you can disconnect the air intake and start removing or unscrewing the throttle body itself. We will go through this section in fast forward since everybody knows how to unscrew a bolt. The only thing you need to be careful at this time is to not lose any bolt or break the seal or the gasket, but on my case, as soon as the throttle body got loose, it fell in my hand, so there was no danger of breaking any seal or any gasket. You probably can reuse the same O-ring or the same gasket, but I didn't want to take any chance, so I installed a brand new seal. This way I was certain there was no air leak anywhere. While the throttle body is not there, is the best time to clean the entry of the intake so your engine won't suck anything that you might drop there by mistake. And after you clean everything, it's now time to install the new O-ring. It's very easy to install. You have a gap on top and you need to align it with the gap on the O-ring or the seal or gasket, call it as you want. It might feel kind of too small, but don't worry, to stretch it a little bit. It meant to be tight so it won't go anywhere when you will install the throttle body. It's now time to install your new parts. You need to reuse the same bolt. The only thing you need to replace is the throttle body, obviously, and the gasket behind it or between the throttle body and the intake. It's pretty easy to install or to put it back because there's no rust behind there and the part is very light, so it's very easy to hold it with a hand and screw the bolt with the other hand. Again, I've made this section in fast forward since everybody knows how to screw a bolt. Perfect world with a bit. After looking for the bolt for 5 minutes because it was fell between the frame and the wishbone, I'm back at screwing the throttle body by hand before finishing it with the ratchet. As you can see, I'm not using a torch wrench simply because I could not find the spec for these specific bolts. And after it's tight, it's time to put your stuff backward from when you disconnect everything, which is the vacuum line. After that, you need to connect back the connector, which is way more easy to connect than to disconnect. And you need to remember to put the safety tab back in place so your connector will be secure. It will still be a little tricky to put it back since your finger cannot fit very well, but it's again way easier to put it back than to remove. When it's done, you can connect back the air intake, but before that you need to make sure you didn't drop any dirt or any contaminant in the throttle body before connecting it back. After it's done, the last step is to connect back the last vacuum and your job is done. The throttle body is replaced. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you will be notified as soon as I will release a new video. So on this, I wish you a great day and see you later.